Have you ever heard of something, thought it was fake or just made up, like a creepypasta or cryptid, and just brushed it off as just imagination? Well, what if those things that they thought were just scary things meant to entertain people were actually real? You've probably heard of the infamous creepypasta or killer known as Jeff the Killer. A man who wears a white hoodie stained with blood, black pants, kitchen knife, maddening eyes, and a smile so long it was carved into his face by himself. I always thought that was just a very clever creepypasta, one that terrified people, made them very, very, very scared to go to sleep at night. I never really believed any of the creepy things I was ever told or I ever saw online until last night. Last night, I was asleep as usual. My room only has one window, one door. The door can't be locked. The window is always bolted shut. Blinds hang on the window so no one can see what I'm doing. The thing that always creeps me out is that my door does not have a lock, which I fixed or I want to get fixed. But that night, I was very, very annoyed because I was trying to go to sleep. I suffer from very bad insomnia. Generally, I try to take melatonin or just listen to something and help me fall asleep. But that particular night, my melatonin supply had run out. So, I was trying to fall asleep as usual, knowing I'd either stay up all night or get very bad sleep. But as I'm there trying to go to sleep, I hear the handle on my door turn. I instinctively think it's one of my siblings or my mom coming in to check on me, so I close my eyes, acting like I'm asleep. The door opens. Generally, when one of them come in and see me asleep, they leave instantly. But the door stayed open, even opened more. There's a nightstand right beside me, where one of my eyes could hide behind it. So I opened my left eye, kept my right one closed, so they wouldn't see I was awake. And I looked. I couldn't see much, but all I could see was a tall figure, broad shoulders, who was standing there, ominously. I couldn't see his face due to the darkness, but that was not my brother. He just stood there, watching me. And then he turned on the lights. Now, only one light bulb in my fan works, but it just so happened to point directly towards the door. So the lights went on. My eyes were still closed, but through the vision of my left eye, I could see his face. A crazed, maddening face. His eyes, his bags had so deep that it looked like he hadn't slept in months or years. Eyes wide open as if he was enjoying every single second of this. A maddening smile stretched from ear to ear. Then I realized that smile, it was too big. The mouth too long. Then I realized his face had been carved to that smile. His face had a carved smile on it, like something out of a Joker movie. I panicked. I remember that I always keep a knife beside my bed. Under the protection of the nightstand blocking where the knife was, I grabbed it. and held it close. He still stared at me with those maddening eyes. The smile. Oh my God. That smile. Until, out of his hoodie pocket, he pulled out a kitchen knife. The knife that I held was a buck knife. Instinctively, I flipped it up and jumped up from the bed. And I flashed the knife in his face, telling him to fuck off. He just stood there, holding the knife down to my side, staring at me with those maddening eyes. His expression didn't even change. He wasn't surprised, he wasn't scared, he wasn't confused, he wasn't anything. Just a maddening smile. And then he said 3 words that will haunt me for the rest of my life. Go to sleep. At once he charged me. I remembered from karate class that the best move to do was to dodge, so I dodged his charge. He just kept running, and then crashing right into my desk, as knocking down on the board on the wall, all right onto his head. He collapsed, perhaps dropping the knife. In a split second, he jumped up and crashed out the window. Ignoring the blinds, he just crashed out the window. Somehow, some ungodly way, he held on to the side of the window, climbing down it with maddening speed. The rest, he just jumped down and ran away from my house. I still to this day have no idea how the hell he managed to do that. But I do know one thing. I will take creepypastas more seriously. And I'll get a fucking lock on my door.